Hello, gentlemen and ladies who've joined us. I'm really sorry about the initial hiccup. If there is someone on the live stream still active, and I appreciate you for spending the time to check out what's happening with the stream. If you guys can respond on the chat, if you guys can hear me loud and clear, that would really help us get started. We've got the perfect Aniruddha with the response there. Yes, we can get started, and uh, you know, so what I was about to say was we've got 7 minutes for the kickoff. Thank you so much, Aniruddha, for the response. We've got 7 minutes for the kickoff. Chelsea versus Servette. It's been a while that Chelsea, Sportswire channel has actually hosted a video or a live stream for that matter. This time we're trying to sort that out, and this year we try to be more active. Try to host as much as games possible. But on the same note, Servette versus Chelsea is something that we could not, find on a lot of streams. So we had to actually go in and, buy the live stream for the first leg. And that was available actually after the game, I believe. That's the, live stream that I actually bought. But with respect to trying to buy the live stream today, it seems that that particular button is not working on the application. I'm trying my level best to get that sorted, but the game should be underway any minute now. We might have a slight delay in getting the live stream, but then once it is up, we'll have regular commentary sort of a thing to ensure that all of us are apprised on what's happening with the game, Servette versus Chelsea. But then the lineup. Yeah. So the lineup that we have right now for the game, it's an interesting lineup. We've got Noni Madueke starting again. Did not expect him to start this week, only because he's got another game in the weekend, so did not expect him to start this time. But nevertheless, he is actually starting this game, and there you go. That's the lineup. Jorgensen at the goal, Axel Sassi, Tossin, Badiashil, Vega, Renato Vega. He's starting as well. I think it's a back four. Disasi, Tossin, Badiashil, and Vega will fall. Will form the back four. We've got Enzo and Dewsbury Hall in the double pivot as number sixes. Enzo's going to probably try and take that Casaido's role more because, or Dewsbury Hall would do that for that matter, and Enzo would be floating around. That's a possibility as well. And we've got Madueke on one wing, which one, right one, of course. Mudryk on the left, Nkunku as our center attacking midfielder today, and Gui to start as well. So from the Wolves lineup, which got us a 6-2 win. This time we aren't starting with some of those players. Obviously, the reason could be to rest them and to keep rotating the lineup. But what I see with Enzo Maresca in the last couple of games is that he seemed to have found out which lineup is actually working for him. So that's a good thing. And, we're trying to, play a different 11 for... So we're trying to play a different 11 for... Conference League and a different 11 for Premier League, which is a good thing, which is a really good thing. I'm still trying to get the live stream from the Chelsea application. If you guys also face the same, problem, please do let me know. For some reasons, the application doesn't seem to be working all right. I'm trying to figure out what went wrong this time because I was able to purchase it the last time, so it should be working ideally. Yeah, we're 2 minutes into the game. It's still 0-0. I'm going to try and find out if there is any other um, website that is hosting the game. But let me know your score predictions as well, meanwhile, on the comment section. We are 3 minutes into the game. Score still level. Please note that we are also having a 2-goal lead, and we are at Switzerland, trying to win this game for and qualify forward. But, in the meantime, let me find out if there is any other website. Um, well, goal.com says Chelsea TV is one way to watch the game. The sad part about it is that for some reasons, in spite of me having an account and logging in, it the buy now section is not working. So I'm trying to sort that out. Let me try to log in here. It's a mess, guys. It's a mess. Honestly, we should find ways to host these games, that two top games. It's just frustrating, guys. Frustrating. Yeah. Let's say 2-0. Aniruddha says 2-0 as the prediction. Any specific goal scorers that you think would win it for us this week? Upon form, then we could obviously argue Noni Madueke, but anyone else comes to your mind? We don't have Cole Palmer today, so just in case we think Noni Madueke is going to be serviced on a platter, that's not going to happen. This time he needs to earn his goals. Not that Noni played bad on the game, so it's still good. Yeah, there we go. We got the game. We got the game, guys. We got the game. So, yep, I am able to stream it. So it's just that I cannot relay it here. So I'll refrain myself from relaying it. But then I'm watching the game for you guys, and I'll be able to comment on it. There you go. 6 minutes into the game, 7-0, Chelsea 0. Christopher Nkunku back to Disasi. Madueke behind for Disasi. Got Buddy Shield playing the left side at centre back, and we got Dawson playing the right centre back. It's a pretty strong lad, Dawson. Yeah, it's a pretty strong lad. And then Gui can, yeah, that's a good shout as well. Gui for, Gui can do that as well. Honestly, he presses a lot, and that's something that we'll have to be on the lookout for. So yeah, that's a good shout. Guys, on the same note, we're going to be joined by a special guest today. Nizayan from Blue Clouds TV is going to join us shortly, and he's going to watch the game along with us. And we're just looking for options to potentially host this particular live stream in his channel as well simultaneously. So you'll be able to watch his channels, the same video in his channel as well as my channel. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to try it for the first time, very first time. So hopefully there is not a lot of hiccups. If not, then I think we're going to have a good set of audience watching the games. Yeah, that was a good ball. Chelsea have improved really on shifting the ball from one area to other, like the long balls. That's considerably improved under Enzo Maresca, and I could see that happening a lot. But this time, not so successful, which means the ball resulted to Servette. And yeah, we've got an attacking run here from Christopher Nkunku, but then he was fouled, and there is an yellow card right at the 8th minute. Servette already having an yellow card. And this is a good sign. This is really a good sign. This particular player, was actually, an issue in the last leg as well, guys. I'm not sure if I can recollect his name, but then I remember, him being more physical. Yeah, Jan Severin. Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's Dawson getting the ball. So Anirudh is asking if you can join the stream. Yes, you could. You could hop in always. I'm gonna put that link here. Feel free to hop in. That's the StreamYard link, so it'll directly take you to the stream, and yeah, we could have a conversation. Why not? 9 minutes into the game, Servette still nil, Chelsea nil. Yes, we've got Nizayan. We've got Nizayan from Blue Cast TV. Nizayan, how are you doing today?
Doing wonderful, brother. Before I say anything, I really apologize for my lateness. I tried to end the stream at a specific time, but to be honest with you, the guys that keep me going, and I have to run and eat something and then change my outfit and jump in here. But I'm doing well.
Absolutely, brother. No worries. You don't have to apologize. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation on a short notice. And here you are back at Sportswire. How does it feel to be back together at Sportswire? It's been a while, a couple of years at Sportswire. We've hosted anything, so it's a welcome addition. And who else to have to start with, on the first stream than Nizayan?
I mean, I'm just loving it. It's nice to be back on this platform. I mean, you and I have some fine time together on this platform. We've discussed, as Chelsea fans, we come on and always have a say. And, you've stayed the way you stayed, professional, out the stream. Everything looks so beautiful. And I just love it. I mean, I can't wait to get it going. We have to get this account where it has to be. Little tips from here, and then we'll get there. But yeah, it's lovely to be back on discussing football again with you, brother.
Pleasure, brother. Pleasure. And we are 11 minutes into the game. The first 11 minutes, not so, appealing as much as it was with Wolves. Do you think it's because, of them sitting a bit behind, not as attacking as that of Wolves? Could that be the reason why Chelsea, is trying to find those intricate spaces in between?
1 minute.
I lost your mic. Yeah, sorry, I lost your microphone for a minute there.
Yeah.
Would you be able to repeat
like I
that?
said,
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of the game. But I was expecting Servette to sit very deep because they came to Stamford Bridge and got things open, and Chelsea punished them when Madueke on the second half when Chelsea changed the game for them. So whatever I'm seeing now, I'm not shocked. But remember, they're playing at home. They're going to have the home back and the home supporters. That counts to make the extra man to help them out. But
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Oh, that's a good one. I think that's a penalty. We've got a penalty here, brother. We've got a penalty here. That is for Mudryk against Tsunemoto, who's had a poor defensive challenge there. Mudryk was able to, easily get that foul for us. 12 minutes 25 seconds into the game, Chelsea have their first penalty, for this game, and that's Mudryk winning us the penalty. I hope it is going to be Christopher Nkunku who will take that penalty for us. What's your thoughts, brother? It's a good run.
My stream was a bit late, so as of now, I haven't seen it. I'm on 11 minutes 47 seconds. I'm not so sure. What minutes are you on?
I'm into 12 minutes and 51 seconds. I didn't know Chelsea
right.
TV is going to be that.
I still haven't seen the penalty yet. I still haven't seen it yet.
All right.
So I'm just trying to go along with what your commentary says. But yeah.
Okay, there you go. We've got a penalty, and I'll also take this opportunity to welcome Aniruddha Madhuri to the channel.
Yeah, I just saw it. I just saw it. Now I can give you a comment on. Oh, big up to you, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. What's your name, man? I can't see your name on the screen. VG's overlay is covering his name.
Yeah, that's the overlay here. Didn't think this would be a problem. I could remove that. Shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I see it now. Okay, can you help me with the pronunciation, brother?
Yeah. Do you want me to?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Do you want me to keep that as a surprise? The penalty? I could do that as well. No, I'm just kidding. I can't do that. Chelsea scored. Christopher Nkunku scored for us. That's Chelsea won 7-0.
And they have to score like 4 goals to be able to go through. 4 goals. I saw the pass you were asking about. The long pass to Modric on the left-hand side, and Modric did what Modric does. If you give him that space, he relies more on space than ability. You get what I'm saying? He's got a lot of space, but when he gets to the 18, the ideas, the final decision making is his problem. As Enzo Maresca said in his press conference, he's a good player. His talent, he's got it, but the final decision making in the 18 is his problem.
A bit of a high line. I think Mudryk uses that opportunity. Aniruddha, your thoughts on this goal, buddy? Like, at least the penalty before the goal, Mudryk, for me, it's all about one particular area that Enzo has managed to improve, which is like the switchover from one area of the pitch to another one. We've seemed to get that spot on, in the last couple of games. Could that be something that Chelsea's been improving on in the training sessions?
I would say so because, to be very honest, full disclosure, Liverpool fan here. As a person with no standing in what happens in this particular game, I'm pretty excited to see what your thoughts are, obviously. But having said that, I've seen a bit of how Chelsea play over the past few games. The Wolves game was pretty interesting because the second half blitz that happened under where 4 goals were pretty much scored like at a pretty quick pace. As you mentioned, Vijay, earlier, that given that we don't have Cole Palmer to serve up the assist for Madueke, it's going to be slightly difficult. But yeah, I see your point as far as how the diagonals go ahead, right? Like how, because from what I've seen, it's very effective for teams that play a slightly higher line because it makes it easier for players like Mudryk to get behind the defense, and there's someone coming in from someone playing a diagonal all across that will just catch the midfield and the defense of the opponents out completely. And that's, I guess, something that is going to be a theme under Maresca, which it's interesting that he has his own spin on things, given that he has been the assistant coach for Pep Guardiola for a while. You would expect him to play his style of football, but I'm happy to see that there's a slight break from that convention where there's a lot more directness involved. So that's
true.
Nice to see that.
Yeah, one thing that surprises me is how he's able to translate some of those gameplay that he was able to articulate with Leicester back in the Championship last year into Premier League. A lot of people had their own doubts. The patterns of play that Enzo Maresca was able to get in with respect to Leicester. Let's be honest and open about it. Even Leicester had least expectations. Even their own fans had least expectations as to them finishing at the top and be and able to qualify for the Premier League. But Enzo did a good job there. I think that's what has earned him a place at Chelsea now. Like you mentioned, I'd like to address a couple of points there. The diagonal that you're talking about, this is again something that was replicated back from Leicester. We saw them using it quite often at Championship, against Championship teams as well. But then with Championship, what you would also get is the time on the ball. With less, with Premier League, that becomes eventually less, and all these could be easy giveaways against top teams as well. So that there is a risk associated with it as well. So it's about finding the right balance, and it's also about not overutilizing it. There was a free kick on the same note. There was a free kick for SERVETTE, which they looped above the goalkeeper. So no risks there for Chelsea. 18 minutes into the game, SERVETTE 0, Chelsea 1. But I'd like to take this conversation to Nizayan now, and try to understand, how have we fared in the transfer market? Just slightly digressing from it, I know, we've been talking about the game all along. But the transfer market, with not just with other clubs, with Chelsea, has always been interesting, right? I mean, we seem to be very active at transfer market every single year. How is your take, about Chelsea this year? We've been able to procure some players. There have been comments from experts, in public forums as to us having 42 members, in the squad, and that being a challenge, and that hoping to be a challenge for a lot of people, a lot of rival fans as well. But what are your thoughts on it? Enzo has already spoken about this in detail. He's always said that I work with only 20, 21 players on a regular basis. So the 41 player, the number squad is not going to affect him. But that's him talking to the media. So how far can we trust that? And, what do you think about, the late minute signings on Victor Osimhen, potentially Victor Osimhen, or Jadon Sancho? There's been conversation on Ivan Toney as well. Give me an overview.
Thank you very much. Very interesting comment. In the question, what I've seen going on is, there is no smoke without fire, they always say. And a lot of news media are saying that Chelsea might end up seeing themselves going through a series of seasons without making transfers, because the old regime have done shitty things that Chelsea's current owners are here to correct. But correcting it doesn't mean they have reported the whole situation to UEFA and FIFA for all those problems. But still, it feels like Chelsea might. The punishment might be reduced, but then they will be faced with some transfer bans. So they're bringing all these talented players in. Hopefully, if Chelsea does get transfer banned, they will be able to get through the 2 seasons with the talented players that they have on the pitch. So whatever player that they have to loan, if the player get better, they can bring him in. It won't be a transfer ban because the player is already with the club that's on loan. So that is my main idea of what Chelsea are trying to do. And also the model that Chelsea are following is all about young, talented players in the world. So wherever you are, if you're very talented and you're young, you fit the model. Chelsea will get you. If you don't go through it, they will sell you. So I'm very, very happy. I'm very happy that the new owners are still doing what Roman Abramovich used to do in the past, but in a different direction, where the players are young. They can be, if they go and things goes on well, they will be able to stay at the football club for a decade. Where in the past, Roman Abramovich bring in world players that are ready. But if you compare on how Chelsea were winning the Premier League in the past and how Chelsea are winning the Premier League, and now, you can tell there's no vast difference. We want our club to be able to win the trophy like Manchester City have done. A year after year after year after year. You don't win a trophy this season, and then you live 2 years in between, and then you win another one. and then you win the following year, then you leave 2 years in between. It means that we don't have a certain pattern at which we're following to win our championship. Manchester City have come in and done it much better. They know that whatever they have in place is set for them to win their trophy each and every year. So that is what I want my club to start doing. And these owners want to do the same thing. Unlike Roman Abramovich, we have Carlo Ancelotti, a good manager. He gets the team going. He won the Premier League. The following year, he became second. And he got sacked at Everton dugout in the tunnel, even before he got to Stamford Bridge. That's very, very disgraceful. This is the same manager. I've won back-to-back Champions League with Real Madrid. So he knows how to work with young, talented players. Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, they were very young when they came to Bayern Munich. Real Madrid. But look at them. With time and development, Carlo Ancelotti is getting the best out of Vinicius Jr., arguably one of the best attacking wingers in the world. He was coming from Brazil.
True, that is. True, that is. And on the game that we that we are currently on the lookout for, Mudryk has been all right on that left flank. There's been a lot of attack that has originated on the left flank. Highly unusual to see that sort of movement. Because we are not used to having this free flow of football, at least for the last 1 or 2 years. We see that movement coming about, and I'd like to hear this from the Rivals fan, of course. The 2-6 victory from Chelsea, a statement victory against Wolves. And I'm going to be very honest about this. This is not the same Wolves that we played the last season, right? They're depleted. They're still struggling to have players come out of bench. They do have a all right 11, but then having players come out and replace the ones on the pitch, that's still a struggling factor for Wolves. I see Wolves as a team that's going to be fighting a relegation battle this season, not just because of the performance against Chelsea, but then their squad strength in itself not very appealing. But I'd like to hear from Aniruddha more on what has this 2-6 victory meant to rival fans, and how have they perceived Chelsea, and have they changed their opinion on Enzo Maresca? Have they changed their thought on what Chelsea should look like? And that was a good chance for Noni Madueke before I hand it over to Aniruddha. That was a good chance for Noni Madueke. Like there's been a good set of attacking chances here. Mark Gui doing his presses as usual. 24 minutes passed in the game. 7-0, and Chelsea still won. Over to Aniruddha.
Perception about how Chelsea might end up doing. Again, it's too early to call on how Maresca would end up doing at Chelsea, because it's just the second game of the season. So it's too early to say that for sure. But if history is anything to go by, and given that his experience at Leicester lasted for one season, and in fairness, with all due respect to the championship clubs last season, Leicester still had incredible talent. I mean, there was the same team that was there in the Premier League the season before they got relegated. Right? So I can't say for sure how Maresca would do. I wish him the best for sure, because a more competitive league is something that we all strive for, unlike a runaway league. Having said that, it's too early to call on how Maresca would end up doing, because you see that there's a lot of things that he needs to get up to pace with. And this is a problem pretty similar to what Arne Slot is facing at Liverpool as well. If you've seen, we've just had 2 signings, and those 2 signings are pretty much for the long term. And whereas Maresca at this point has close to 21 odd players that he's meeting for the first time, and a few others who we don't know what their futures are as well. And as you mentioned earlier, there are close to 42 odd players listed currently in the setup, whereas Maresca has out in the open said that there's only 21 of them. That kind of shows that he's pretty ruthless with regards to things like this. He knows, he has marked out the players that he can get the best out of. So that's a good sign. But having said that, how is he going to implement his style of play is something that, as I'm sorry, I couldn't get your name, brother.
Knee,
Yeah, sorry about that.
knee,
I couldn't get
knee,
it.
knee, Nii,
Nee, yeah,
knee.
got it. Sorry. So yeah, as Nee pointed out earlier, there's a lot of players again, but you take some time. And if Chelsea are to go the city way, this could be a good start. There needs to be some filtering out, and I guess Maresca has done that as
Yeah,
far as identifying players are concerned. And based on based on the one game that we've seen with the players that he can get them, with the players that he needs to work with, it's a good sign. It's a good initial sign. It's just that it has to be sustainable across the entire season. And again, there's not enough data to suggest that it is going to be a runaway season for Chelsea either. It's going to be difficult for sure. It might take 2 or 3 years, as Nee pointed out. It's going to be a cycle initially, but later on, Chelsea might be destined for successive, successive campaigns where they can sustain a challenge, which has not been the case over the past few years. As given that, given the nature of how managers were being fired if things didn't go the way that they
right.
wanted it to. So it's going to be an interesting season for sure. It's too early to judge what Maresca might end up doing at Chelsea. It's going to be difficult, and I'm pretty sure he would be enjoying this fight as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. I think, yeah. Go on, Nizia.
you can say that, but the only thing that Chelsea fans rely on, and me, I rely on in terms of what Enzo Maresca can do for Chelsea is he's done it. If you watch the style of play that he and during his time with Leicester City, this guy played beautiful football, and that was the main reason why Mauricio Pochettino was fired, and they brought this guy in. Mauricio Pochettino's football is a bit different from how this guy played. If you look at how he was inventing Cucurella, they vet Cucurella and then vet Reece James or Malo Gusto is way different from what Mauricio Pochettino was doing. Mauricio Pochettino started inventing players after maybe like 7 games to end the season. Why didn't you do that to get the best out of Matt Cucurella right from the beginning of the season? So and also he doesn't have that confidence during, I wouldn't say during press conferences and stuff like that. He's the way he talk to the press and things, Chelsea fans are not really happy with it, and then the team as a whole. But yeah, he will do bits. He will try and push his weight. That could be the target for Enzo Maresca and Chelsea, to push it top four. But besides that, I don't know what else he can do. But I'm expecting something good. This team is going to do bits on the pitch. They will do better than last season. But yeah,
Yeah, one interesting point that happens here with Chelsea, if we've noticed in the last couple of games, is that the players seem to know once they have the ball at their feet what exactly to do. Right? That's something that Chelsea players lacked most times, including the seasons where Mason Mount, Conor Gallagher were part of Chelsea. They all, even when we had the ball at our feet most times, we didn't know exactly what to do. We didn't know where to shoot from. We were always on the lookout. We were just looking behind our shoulders often, because we didn't have a clear cut plan as to how we go about attacking. But that's not the case anymore with Chelsea. That's exactly what I can see from the short stint of matches that Chelsea has played. I think on the attacking phase of the game, Chelsea has put in more faith on Enzo Maresca, and that's like Lindsay mentioned. If there is a reason why Pochettino was sacked, and then Enzo Maresca was brought in, this could be it. I mean, this attacking patterns of players that we see with Chelsea now, because we've always had the team. Let's be honest about it. We've always had the team. Maybe this set or a different set of players, including, I'm talking about the set where we had Timo Werner on the team. Yes, he was an attacking player, but did we use him to the best of his ability? I'm not sure, because when Timo runs, he often runs alone. That's a great goal from Sevet. I'm sorry to cut you off, guys, but then Sevet has just scored, another goal. The defense was wide open for Chelsea. The back four not holding that great against, quality strikers. If I put it that way, Jorgensen tried, but then, I think Buddy Shield should have done a better job from the looks of it. Looking at the replay to find out what was the actual problem. Yeah, Disasi tried to challenge, was not successful. Renato Vega couldn't track back. Badiashile put in his effort at the last moment, but wasn't enough to stop Sevet from scoring their first game in this tie so far. Chelsea still lead the tie on an aggregate basis, 3-1. But this is a good start for Sevet. The coach this Sevet coach seems to be extremely proud of their team. Why not? Why not? They're playing in front of their home fans, and they've scored and they've pulled one back. There's always potential. This is their home ground, and Chelsea shouldn't make this a difficult tie than it already is.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what the problem, how it happened. But oh, stop him. Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Almost.
It was widely open, widely open. They keep coming. Whoever is marking him couldn't mark him very well until that pass came in. Yeah, that's something that we have to deal with. Chelsea will concede goals. They will concede goals along the line. They will score goals and concede goals. But if and we have to remember these two defenders don't play against each other. They don't. They've never. I don't think they. Disasi should have done a professional. Disasi should have pulled him back. That's how Disasi should have pulled him back. All you're gonna get is yellow card.
Right, he pulled back from the challenge. If you notice there, he tried to muscle the player out. He was not able to because he was too quick for him, and then he didn't even progress with the challenge anymore. So he just let him flow, and then Renato Vega had to come back, track back, and and it was too late already.
I like the celebration from the manager.
Yeah, very enthusiastic, energetic.
I mean, it's so exciting when you score against a team that has spent 1 billion.
True, that is.
And more than 1 billion alone was spent in last 2 seasons. So this season alone, the money is not even added to that.
Christopher Nkunku had a really good chance this time to put it over the goalkeeper. Was not very successful at that, but then that was a wonderful opportunity. Good control from Nkunku. Tried to take it on his right foot. He should have put it above the goalkeeper. Was not able to. Maybe a shot from there, from that distance, could have caught us a goal, but it is not to be.
Yeah,
it's a really good take. Then was not able to get it.
They can do better. Interesting game, guys. Interesting game. How are the viewers going?
Another end-to-end game.
Yeah.
We got 2 people watching the stream.
Okay.
And we haven't had any comments apart from Aniruddha, so we'll wait for it. And guys, if you're watching the stream, feel free to give a like and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. I doubt if you've not subscribed, but then if not, please feel free to. We try to produce content on a continuous basis. And meanwhile, if you've not yet subscribed to Nizayon's channel, Blue Clouds TV, which is again something that is highly unlikely, but if you've not yet done so, Nizayon's channel is Blue Clouds TV. Just try typing out in YouTube and
Blue Clouds Media.
You'd be able to. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Blue Clouds Media.
Yeah.
All right. 2 years and that the TV changed to media. All right.
Yeah. From TV to media.
Yeah, that's great. He's getting some interesting stuff down the line. I saw some of the setup that he is planning to do for Blue Clouds Media, and I'm really intrigued and excited for the next segment of Blue Clouds Media's journey. It's really going to be interesting. Yeah. We seem to have another end-to-end game.
Another end-to-end. I hope they stop that thing. I mean, this team is a bit depleted team. I made my predicted lineup yesterday. I lost. I think it was only two players that I missed out on. I didn't put Disasi and Enzo Fernandez, but they are
Okay.
in this game. Yeah, I put Modric on my left hand side. And I put Madueke on the right hand side.
Yeah, I wouldn't have probably guessed Disasi as well. I did not put up 11 out, but then I wouldn't have guessed Disasi as well coming in.
So that should tell you that he's not going to be sold.
True, that is. I mean, it's going to be between. I mean, if it was between Disasi and Chalaba, I think right now Chalaba is at more risk being sold. Since we've got a Liverpool fan here, why not ask him about Chiesa? We've
He's a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, he's a Liverpool fan, and I thought FSG was moving in the transfer market for Chiesa, and I don't think so there were any competition for them to win over. But then Chiesa is still a very good deal. I think Chelsea looked at Chiesa 2-3 years back when he was at Juventus for close to 75-80 million at that point in time. After that, he pulled off a hamstring, and from then on, I think it's not been as successful as we would hope for. I mean, at least at that success rate. But Chiesa is still a very good talent. 13 million, I believe, was the deal value.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
13 million pounds. I mean, for someone who has done very well, at least over the past 3 years. I mean, there's always this misconception that he's an injury-prone player. But last season he played close to 37 or 38 odd games in totality, which kind of
That's a good number.
puts. Yeah, that's a pretty good number. And on some
It's almost an
occasions, he
entire
had to play
season.
as a right. Yeah, he had to play as a right wing back on some occasions, so which is surprising, but which also entails well for the versatility aspect of it. But it still doesn't. It's a good deal for sure. Is if you he's 26 years old and we're getting him for 10 to 30 million pounds, including all the add-ons, which is a pretty good, very good deal. I would say he's direct. He's very fast. He's rapid. If you've seen the Euros and the seasons before that in Fiorentina and in Juventus as well, at least before he was injured, he was doing numbers. He was tearing apart defenses. He was very good. But as it turns out, ACL, not a good injury to deal with, and the subsequent hamstring injuries has what kept him out for the season. And the last season, he played for close to 30 odd games in a position he wasn't entirely familiar with. So fine, good deal, but it still doesn't address at least my critical concern of this team, which is we need a defending midfielder, we need a centre back, and a left back. We need these three. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy that Michael Edwards is back. I'm happy that Richard Hughes is back. Richard Hughes has signed for Liverpool because these two are extraordinary sellers. I mean, Fabio Carvalho for 27 million pounds is unheard. It's just insane to start with. Sepp Vandenberg for 20 million pounds is insane. But where are we investing our money? It's like because you're playing Gravenberg as a defending midfielder, who is not really a defending midfielder. He is more of a box-to-box kind of midfielder. But trying to play him as a defending midfielder is slightly might hurt us. We have Wataru Endo, who has done insanely well last year. But Arne Slott's style of play doesn't involve him too much or his skill set per se. But I hope to see Wataru Endo play a lot more some way or another, because he's a sponge tactically. But barring that, Stefan Bajcetic going to Salzburg. Tyler Morton, who's thankfully his deal, a loan deal per se, has fallen apart. So at least we have one defending midfielder. But is this a player that we would like to, you know, trust
Do you
because
think?
he's a youngster?
I mean, there's been some. I know this is not an ideal scenario or an ideal situation to be at, But then, for some reasons, Premier League now have some makeshift CDMs. Usually, the right backs or the left backs come in to play the CDM positions more often than not. Like we've seen John Stones, sorry, Stones, yeah, not sure if it's John Stones, but Stones do that for Man City. We've seen that even Malo Gusto played that a couple of times for Chelsea. Reece James used to do that before a CDM sort of a role when he was playing for us continuously. So usually the left backs or right backs are able to put that pull that off the CDM position. Do you have some sort of a makeshift CDMs who could do that for a temporary while, at least until the winter transfer window if something goes wrong?
Yeah, we do. I mean, last season there were instances where Joe Gomez ended up playing as a defending midfielder, and he did
Hmm.
reasonably okay. The only thing is, even his future, thankfully, up until recently, his future was also in doubt because Crystal Palace was. There's this whole triangle going on between Newcastle, Crystal Palace, and Liverpool, where Newcastle was looking to get Mark Cahill, and to replace Mark Cahill, Crystal Palace were looking to Joe Gomez. But I think both the deals are have now collapsed, thankfully, for me at least, for Liverpool fans in general. But again, the problem is Joe Gomez, great player, great utility player for sure, but he's also injury prone because he's had very bad luck with injuries. It's
Hmm.
and which leads me on to the centre back positions as well because he can there's a centre back, but in centre back you have Ibu Konate, who's on his day fine defender, very good defender. His performance in Ipswich Town was pretty good, very good actually. We have Gerald Kwanzaa, who's a youngster again, and and he was taken off for Ibu Konate because Kwanzaa is not really physical yet, and he's a youngster. It'll take time for him to get to the physical, to possibly be a bit more physical as far as his progression is concerned. And then we have Virgil van Dijk, who's Virgil van Dijk, but at the same time, he's also getting on a bit. I believe he's 33 now, so we would have to start thinking of succession planning as well for
Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk. And given that he's at the last year of his contract, and we haven't started discussions or negotiations for a new contract. And I get that there's been a lot of upheaval across the board and across the management. Given that this is something that Alison Becker said very well in the interview. He stated that this year's there's a lot of change across the board, across the management, and they're trying to get a structure in place. And I guess that's when the once that structure is in place, they would start talking about contracts because at this point we have Trent Alexander-Arnold,
Mhm.
Mohamed Salah, and Virgil van Dijk. The three of them, possibly the best in their positions, arguably, at the last year of the contract. And as a Liverpool fan,
Uh,
it is very scary because Trent might go to Madrid. This rumor that has been uh, floating all across the Euros. Virgil van Dijk might go somewhere else because he's 33 and he might have to start thinking about career post Liverpool. And Alison Becker's that, and we'll get on later. But Mohamed Salah, who's possibly the best uh, winger in the Premier League for the past 5 6 years, or past 7 years, if you take it that way. He's at the last year of his contract, and he had a statement a few hours back saying that let's enjoy the last year of the contract and then we'll see what happens, which is a very scary thing to hear from your main source of goals when
oh,
you don't when when
he's
you
planning
when
on
you
going on a
hear
free.
looks like it because and yeah, that's pretty scary. But given that he was pretty much the fittest player who came back after the summer break, as Arna Slot himself mentioned, Mohamed Salah has been the fittest he's ever been. Right.
Yeah.
So for a person who's as fit as he is, who's worked on his fitness, I'm pretty sure he can play for 3 or 4 years at the top level. And if you're going to let him go for free, that is going to be a sacrilege. And I hope that doesn't happen.
I mean, I'm going to put this across to Desire. This is getting interesting. Mo Salah, former Chelsea player, a very successful Liverpool player. I think the last time he wanted to negotiate a contract, there were conversations around 400k, 500k even on the wage bill, and then it got reduced out obviously. But then there was rumors, around for his contract extension that happened, and this time around, a more mature player, Salah again. Not as old as that of Van Dijk, if I'm going by my numbers right, but then he still has got a lot left in him. Prem talent, Prem proven. Any chance of him at Chelsea back again, Zion?
Mm,
Would you take him?
I didn't get the
Maybe that's
last
something.
part of it. Can you hear me?
That's it.
Yeah, I can.
See the player's name again. One more time.
Salah, yeah, Salah.
Salah has been a very good servant for Liverpool Football Club. He's been a great player. We didn't get the best out of Salah because of impatience. Right now, Salah is running down. I was going to ask your brother, or our brother that we have here, Liverpool fan, if what is the football club doing with this? Players that are running down their contract and living for free. It would never happen at Chelsea Football Club. But Salah, to me, Salah is getting to the same ramification as Sterling found himself. Yeah, he's better than Sterling. But what can you gain from Salah? You can't get any profit back when you buy him with huge amounts of money. It's like a loss. You're only gonna get maybe 2 years out of Salah. Salah is done. It's done from the highest level. Salah is done. He needs to go a place that he can take the pension money, which is the Saudi. Without Salah, why do you think they brought in Chiesa? Because they know they will struggle without any other attacking player. Because Darwin Nunez is not that; he's just a fraud, man. Darwin Nunez is just a waste of money. He's not good enough. Mo Salah will struggle all by himself, and at his age, he cannot be the guy that will be going back and front, back and front. He won't. He's gonna be. He's gonna be like a player, Liverpool playing against 10 against 11, because he doesn't tackle anymore. He doesn't have the legs. But I'll never take Mo Salah at Chelsea Football Club. He's too old to do that.
All right. I mean, with how Chelsea is restructuring their wage bill as well, I don't see the potential of Mo Salah coming back to Chelsea. So that's that. That's that. For people on the comment section, if you guys have, a different thoughts on it, we'd love to hear that. But I think Mo Salah at Chelsea is no more, an entertaining deal for Chelsea at least. And the way that we've operated, like 21 years, 20 years, those are the kind of talents that we are right now on the lookout for, and we are okay to pay them on long contracts like 90,000, 100k euros a week, and then that's okay for us, instead of paying a 325 k a week, in the case of Raheem Sterling, or any players at that age bracket are also on a high wage bill. Obviously, we need to strike a balance between being you know being a uh, being in a completely unbalanced team. And I talk about unbalance, I'm talking about unbalance in terms of experience. We need to strike the right amount of experience and the youth. At the same time, we don't want to have players on a high wage bill. I don't think so. It's a matter of Sterling not really suiting the system of Enzo Maresca. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nizay, on here, but I personally think it's more of the board's decision to move Sterling along. I mean, along than honestly, Enzo Maresca saying that he's not part of the plan, because I don't really want to believe that. Isn't Sterling a better winger than Mudrik here that we have right now? Um, why won't he fit the system that Enzo is trying to play? Right. So I think it's more of the board's call. At least that is how I view it. Your thoughts?
This is my thoughts. Enzo Maresca has a chance to assess his couple players during preseason. Enzo Maresca has a chance with his Chelsea during preseason. He gave Raheem Sterling a chance to prove himself that, look, you're part of my squad. Look at the chance that he missed against Real Madrid. It was just like an open chance. Raheem Sterling, with his experience in the Premier League, playing for Liverpool, your best days with Manchester City, you should be able to bury that chance without any problem. Modric, you got to look at this. You got to look at the bigger picture. Modric have signed 6 to 7 years contract. He's going nowhere. You can't sell Modric because you're gonna go lost. You're gonna lose lots of money on Modric if you sell him. You can't sell him. So your prayers is for Modric to get better and play for the football club, or you sell him when he gets a little bit better. So out of Modric, it's not going to. That is why they brought in Pedro Neto. So when they found their man, Pedro Neto, who we all know he has his own injury problems. But when healthy, Pedro Neto will help provide the team with 25 goals. But without Pedro Neto, they realized that Raheem Sterling will not be the guy. He played the same way he was playing last season. If you can remember our chance, he had a chance. It was open, 1-on-1, 3-on-1. It was just 3 Chelsea players and the goalkeeper against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And what did he do? He never passed the ball. He just messed up with the ball. The goalkeeper stopped it. And he has 2 players on the side to pass to. And he didn't score many goals last season. So what makes you think that these, Raheem Sterling can be productive to the team this season? Because we're playing in the World Club competition. Chelsea will play in the World Club competition next year, which is not far off. Chelsea will be playing in the Conference League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and the Premier League. So the fact that we're not playing Champions League, we're still playing in Europe with lots of competitions to play. And you need the players like Raheem Sterling to help out. But he's not productive. How would I say? Pedro Neto is more productive than him. So I think that the board, Enzo Maresca, did a very, very good job on Raheem Sterling. He's the highest paid player in the team, and his productivity is very low, 320K a week.
Yeah.
Chelsea also trying to restructure their wages. So everything that Chelsea is doing is really in line of it. He doesn't fit the weight bill. He doesn't produce much. So why do we have that player in the football club? And Chelsea now trying to reduce his wages and give him 300K. And he said no. This is what they said. They said they want to reduce your wages. We don't want you that much this season. We're not going to use you that much. We'll use you when we want you. And he said, no, I can't do that. But Chelsea will find the best way to deal with Raheem Sterling. So that's where I stand. I think it's a right decision.
Okay. Point taken. But he also comes with a lot of experience. Played at Man City, played at Liverpool. Now a potential that he could play even for Arsenal, for that matter. We're hearing that Chelsea are trying to sell Raheem Sterling to Arsenal so that they could facilitate a deal for Jadon Sancho with Manchester United. That just came out 8 minutes before from Pius, top Chelsea news outlet. So that's a possibility. Thoughts on that, Aniruddha? I see already your reaction there.
Wow. Okay, that's news to me because look, Raheem
It's actually from
Sterling.
Fabrice Hawkins.
Raheem Sterling, he's never been a great finisher. I mean, he's, as me pointed out earlier, he has missed sitters. And the fact that if he goes to Arsenal, I mean, just let's keep the footballing side aside for a minute. If he goes to Arsenal, I don't think there would be a more hated man than Raheem Sterling in London. And there are quite a lot of people who hate Raheem Sterling. So, I mean, at some point, we have to worry about his own safety. And kidding aside, I don't know if Raheem Sterling would fit Arsenal's style of play, honestly speaking, because we have a in the case of Arsenal, say if they play a 4-3-3, where's Raheem Sterling going to play? Because he's got Martinelli on. If you take the top three, Havertz plays up top. What can we say? He has to play up top as a false nine or as a main striker. Depends on the team that they're playing against. On the right, you have Bukayo Saka, who's one of the best in the Premier League, and on the left, you have Gabriel Martinelli or Leandro Trossard. So even if he goes to Arsenal, he'll be facing the same issues that he's facing at Chelsea. Like he can't be a bit, he might have to end up being a bit part player, which he doesn't want anyway. So I don't understand. With yeah, he's worked with Mikel Arteta before at City, obviously, but he would Arteta drop either Martinelli or Trossard for Raheem Sterling? That's a bit of a question mark for me. So
Who that is?
Arsenal might not be a great fit. And as far as I've also heard a rumor like around a couple of days back where there's a potential for a swap deal between Jadon Sancho and Raheem Sterling. I think that has been debunked.
Yes.
It has been debunked, right? Because that could be this generation's Mkhitaryan and Alexis Sanchez swap.
True that is. It's a good comparison though. I like that comparison.
It it would have destroyed United. United is on the path of rebuilding themselves. A signing like this is going to destroy them altogether because the last thing that Eric Ten Hag would need at United, at his United, is that a prima donna of a player, which Raheem Sterling has on occasion been, in not by his own, by not by his means, but by his agent's means, right? So that could have been a problem. And Jadon Sancho to Chelsea, I mean,
Let me let me get something to drink. I'll be right back.
Sure, brother.
so Jadon Sancho to Chelsea, that is slightly more appealing, but again, he has to. The thing with Jadon Sancho that I've seen is he would end up having a similar problem that Raheem Sterling is currently facing at Chelsea. Because if the whole idea is that there's an attitude issue with Raheem Sterling, correct me if I'm wrong, VJ, because I don't want to insinuate anything here.
No, I think you have a point there. I mean, for me, when I look at Jadon Sancho as a player, yes, of course, there is an attitude issue that comes up, but then there's also positioning him in this Chelsea team. I don't really find the right position for Jadon Sancho. I mean, we could. I mean, there are a few experts who argue that this particular system that Enzo Maresca is trying to build up at Chelsea could be suitable for Jadon Sancho, but I prefer to differ from that. I don't think so. The system that we are playing right now is the right one for Jadon Sancho. This is even more direct. This is not Jadon Sancho direct. This is even more direct, and not potentially the way that Jadon Sancho would like to play in. So yeah, please go on.
Yeah, so that notwithstanding, I've seen Maresca being ruthless with the players that he wants.
Right.
And if Sancho makes his way to Chelsea, I don't know where he would come in that list. Because
Yeah.
Maresca, in general, Enzo Maresca has been, from whatever I've seen from looking from him from the outside, is that he is a tough taskmaster. He is ruthless. He is set on how to play. He has that tactical vision, and trying and he would not want anyone to disrupt the harmony. Right?
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho might be that way because my brother, God bless him, he's a United fan, and he has not once had a good thing to say about Jadon Sancho whenever he's on the pitch. He's like, why is he playing out here? So if just by that, and if and as far as the attitude thing goes, like the clearest comparison is what's happening to Jadon Sancho at United because Ten Hag is more or less reputed to be ruthless and all the five things that I just mentioned, right? At least there's not significant evidence of that at the pitch yet, but I hope that turns around soon. But given what we've seen, he's a taskmaster. He tries to be ruthless. How has that gone on with Jadon Sancho? Not really well. And that was
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
evident by what,
true that is.
and that's been pretty evident with the community shield match that happened, because I believe Garnacho scored and Ten Hag was celebrating and he looks to the side to hug someone and he sees Sancho is like, oh shit, no,
I'm not
I'm
doing
not
that.
doing that. I don't want to get there. So it's so so the
That's
Sancho's
funny.
the Sancho Sterling swap. Oh, that would have
That would have
quite
hurted
easily
Manchester
been.
United than it was for Chelsea, right?
Yeah, it would have, but it also would have hurt both equally. I
Yeah,
don't. I
it
mean,
equally hurt us too on the other side. Yeah, I get your point.
as I said, it is more or less the Mkhitaryan and Alexis Sanchez transfer of Alf,
Yeah, but
and we
see,
thought that was bad.
very if you were, I mean, I'm going to comment this particular point from this angle, right? Meanwhile, Servette and Chelsea second half has just begun. Chelsea start at one. I mean, basically it's 1-1. Chelsea won, Servette won, and the second half was in. I don't think so. There was any substitutes. If there is anything that anyone who's come in, then used to follow. But to address your point there, uh, I look at it this way, right? So had we been stuck with Sterling this season. I mean, I still hope he would be out of Chelsea by the end of this transfer window. But if that doesn't happen, then whatever trouble we would be having with Jadon Sancho, we'd still have the same trouble with Raheem Sterling. But the only benefit being we'd still be able to run out his contract more quicker than Jadon Sancho's, the one that we'll be offering new. Because we seem to not offer anything less than 5 years now, any contract less than 5 years. So it's always a 7-year contract or a 6-year contract deal. So we'd have to be stuck with him for 6 years. So I'll take Sterling that matter. There is a good chance. There was a good chance for Servette just after the halftime. 46 minutes 10 seconds. It was a wonderful chance for Servette from the free kick, but Jorgensen pulled out a good save. A second very good save from Jorgensen this particular game. Was that not an offside though? I feel that was an offside, but anyways, it's saved, so no problem there. 46 minutes 35 seconds. Servette 1, Chelsea 1. Zion's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Thank you.
Good, brother. Okay.
Chelsea have to put one in. Chelsea have to try and put one in and avoid penalties or whatever.
Yeah, true that is. I mean, they still have the home advantage here. Anything that goes to penalties, then they did have an edge here because of the crowd and all of that, the momentum. And considering most of our guys are young players, I wouldn't be very confident there because they might falter under pressure. It's a possibility. But there's one more follow-up question on the way that Chelsea seems to be playing right now. I mean, it's early in the season, all that is good. So we're able to play end-to-end at this pace. But is that really sustainable throughout the season? Yes, I agree to the fact that we have a very big squad, Nisayan, at this point in time. But still, the effort that the players seem to be putting on the pitch seems to be on the higher side. And I'm happy about it. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy about it. But Nkunku was trying really good bicycle kick off target though, well put by Noni Madueke, but that kick was going nowhere. But yeah, that's a question. Can we play at this particular speed throughout the season?
I mean, it's a style of play. There's no need Chelsea can do that. Chelsea have enough players in the room, enough squad depth to be able to. It's all about understanding each other on the pitch. But this style of play is also it makes some of the defenders very vulnerable. It opens so much room for opposition team to score goals. If you play a high quality team, definitely they'll get a chance against you. But it's all about the defenders not making mistakes. But yeah, Chelsea can play that. It's not a really the style that we play. It's not like a Liverpool high gun. They call it the Liverpool style of play. That heavy metal style of play is a bit different. Yeah, it's a bit different. We Liverpool they don't play with so much possession, but Chelsea plays with high. I mean, a lot of possession.
Yeah, true that is. I mean, we play with a lot of possession, but then I think there is also a potential on this particular style of play being found out easily as well. I mean, not necessarily easily, but then there's a potential that this could be found out as well. You looked at the second half of like Wolves versus Chelsea. All of the attacking gameplay was good, but then they kind of knew where to hurt us, right? And it was quite evident where they had to hurt us was simply on the CDM position. Was trying to be more direct with Casado and with Enzo, and we could see all the ball losses. I mean, leading to the defense missing the ball, right? I mean, the defense, being scattered, and it's not a defensive error. Don't get me wrong. This is not, and a lot of panelists, content creators, they seem to be, you know, talking about this as defensive errors from the actual defenders. No, that's not a defensive error. That's the CDM not doing their job properly. This is a good chance for Mark Gay. And he's let that slide. Another very good chance for Mark Gay. I mean, he still is young and all that, but him getting a goal would do a world of confidence for him. He's getting into the right places, right position, all of that. But then he seemed to be not getting the end product right at this point in time. I feel bad for him. The amount of effort that he puts in the game, initiating the press for Chelsea always. But at this point in time, he doesn't seem to be getting the end product right.
He's got some wonderful press. He presses very, very well, and he's always on top of the ball. But the final delivery is always let him down. I know he will get it. If you have patience for Modric, why not McGee? Oh, come on, Modric.
Yeah.
You're such a useless player, this boy, man. Following the ball off the back. Keep the ball down. I just get tired seeing these useless players.
I mean, do you think there is a reason behind giving Mudryk so much, game time, at the early half of the season? Could that be because Maresca still trusts in his ability, or is it because, the more that you put the player out to play during the transfer season, there's a good potential that he might be attracting offers? Because that's the other side to the argument as well.
Not really. Chelsea's not willing to sell him. The best Chelsea can do is to loan him. You're not going to get nothing back if you sell him. So him playing more games is Enzo Maresca is trying to make this guy better because Chelsea believe in him. Chelsea believe there's a player in him. But what kind of manager do we have that can unlock the full potential of Misha? We don't know yet. So he said he also outlined some of the problems of Modric. He said the problem is it's not his ability, but it's the defense decision making in the final third, which you've all seen that. The guy is good, but once he gets into the 18, he doesn't make the right decision.
And there you go. Another example of Mudryk not being thorough or finesse in that 18-yard box. Like Nizayan mentioned, there's another example at 52 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Please watch out for that particular run from Mudryk, not going anywhere, but then his pace was blitzkrieg there. It was a blitzkrieg place, but then he didn't know how to finish it. It's as simple as it is. Aniruddha. You saw that?
What minutes was he on?
52 minutes, 30 seconds, yeah.
I'm almost there. Yeah. I'm on 51:50 right now.
I'd like to see Nee's reaction to this before I say anything.
Fair enough.
Because when you say that Modric has goofed up, I know, I'm not watching the game, but I know what.
Oh, is it Raheem standing still? Hey, Jesus Christ.
There it is. There it is. Okay.
I told you, it's not that
He
he's
ran
not. He's
almost.
good. He's got pace. How do you waste his chance? He op- he wastes his pass. Kick the ball before the goalkeeper gets too close. This is not
I mean, he
athletics.
ran the entire pitch.
Yeah, he can. You can give him over 90 minutes, he will do it.
Oh, I feel for this guy.
Now, now for Modric, simple. I don't think it's to do with the offers because, as Neil pointed out, like Chelsea don't want to sell him, obviously. Number one. Number two, it's more like sometimes I think it's more hope than anticipation that things will get right. I mean, see, Modric has always been a confidence player.
Yep.
If he, because a small patch of 2 or 3 goals in 2 or 3 or 4 games, he'll start kicking on from there. But to start is the problem because even for 2 or 3 goals, you need to score those 2 or 3 goals to go on that run. Right? With
Right.
Modric, that
Right.
is pretty much the problem, and the decision making something I don't think you can teach. I mean, it's just going to having seen Modric enough, and there's a problem that we have with Darwin Nunes as well. There, decision making is not something that we can teach.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
has to be instantaneous. It has to be that
I mean,
at that point with the ball, what do you do? And both Nunes and Modric have had insane faults with that. Don't get me wrong, technically some players, but sorry, you're saying
no, I
something.
mean, no. I wasn't saying anything. I was just looking at Woodrick miss another chance, basically at 55 minutes and 56 seconds. I mean,
At least
yeah. At
I'm
this point
sure
in
at
time,
least
it's just.
Nunes would have scored once of these chances.
I mean, yeah. I think the one. See, with okay, I'll put it this way. With Nunes, I don't even think he would have made that run that far.
Fair enough.
Because he's not as quick as Modric. I mean, you
Nice.
should have seen the run. It was an amazing run, actually. Honestly, it's an amazing run. But then he couldn't finish it, and that's bad. That's the problem. But the second chance that he missed at 55 minutes, I mean, that's just Modric being Modric. I mean, I don't think so. Any of the Chelsea players would have scored from that particular point, except for Palmer.
He will be substituted soon because if the more chances come on the player and it's not utilized, them, they'll substitute him.
And to answer
I
your
hope
previous
so.
question, Vijay, with regards
Yep.
to the sustainability of the tactics,
Mm-hmm.
given that it's very direct, okay, and I think, and given that Chelsea's player profile is at 20, 21 years old, right, which means there are a lot of youngsters, it might be difficult to sustain over the period because we are still at at this point in time, given the number of matches these players are going to play, thanks to the Conference League's structure itself changing completely, thanks to the Premier League and the myriad of cup competitions that we have to end up playing, at some point that it's just not going to be sustainable because the players might stop reacting. And the best case of this, like a team that has played youngsters and has found out the hard way that it's not sustainable, is Barcelona. Pedri, Gavi, great players, but they have to play 70 odd games in an entire season. I guess this was Pedri, what, 2 or 3 years ago, and look what's happened there. Look at Gavi, what's happening to him. There have been a lot of muscular injuries for those two young players, and I hope that doesn't transpire with Chelsea because even though you have young players, even though you have tactically players who can be molded tactically, the number of matches that Chelsea or any other club in the Premier League would have to end up playing might definitely have a toll on their body with muscular injuries, small ones. as well, not being treated properly, not being addressed properly. I mean, look at Manchester United last year. A lot of muscular injuries coming up, and look at how they collapsed. Right? So, I mean, Maresca has been tactically flexible because, as you pointed out, with regards to Leicester and how they played last season, there was a game between Liverpool and Leicester City in the EFL Cup, I believe. They were pressing aggressively, very aggressive. They tried to gegenpress the. They tried to implement gegenpressing against a team that does gegenpressing the best, and they were successful to a large degree. I mean, we had to rely on Shabazz to score a banger from 25, 30 yards. But large parts of the game, Leicester were actually dominating and they did very well. So for that style of play to continue over a period of time with young players, it's going to be difficult. It's going to
Right.
lead to a lot of muscular injuries as well.
Yeah, I think we've had one of the guests, at Blue Clouds Media as well, Steven, who's also a physio. Yeah, I think he talks about the not that when it comes to muscular development, they're not completely developed, at least the muscles and all of that, before the age of 24, 23. I mean, that's probably the age where they reach their fullest potential in terms of their growth, right? And until then, there's all these possibilities of injuries and all of that seems to be creeping up quickly for these young players, and that's why we need to have a mix of young and old players in the squad, because there needs to be that workhorses, right? I think that's the right word to use, like workhorses. Like there are a few. Let's take Thiago Silva for that example. Like, he's a workhorse, right? I mean, he puts in a shift every single time, the 90-minute shift. And he's 38, and he'd probably do that at even 45. I mean, he is a workhorse, and we need that sort of players. Right now at Chelsea, I don't see a lot of workhorses, if I'm being honest. There's a lot of brittle players. Wesley Fofana hasn't completed one season holistically for the last 3-4 years. The same goes for Colwell. Yeah, relatively young. So they are either in the young bracket, or if they are experienced, they are in the brittle bracket, right? So we don't have someone who's experienced, but at the same time not brittle, right? Nizayon, can you find someone in our squad? I mean, I'm struggling to recollect a name out of the 42 members that we have apparently.
I mean, a player that is not really
injury prone but experienced. I mean, Reece James is obviously out of this conversation.
Yeah, we have Tosi. We have Tosi there. Tosi's not injury prone, and he's not. He has experience. He's 26 years old. He's played with Manchester United, and also he's had a lot of experience. I think either with Fulham. I can't exactly remember where we signed him from. So yeah, he's been playing for. It also depends on how you describe experience, because there could be a young player, but he has more experience than a older player. It can be very. Enzo Fernandez is very young, but he's got more experience than some other players that are even older than him. Enzo Fernandez is younger than Tosi, our defender, but Enzo has more experience than Tosi, although Tosi is older than him.
Okay, let me clear that up. Since we're talking about growth rate of muscles and all of that, it's got more to do with the physique. Here, I'm going to consider age as my experience factor, not the actual playing years, but then the age of it, like 26, 28. This muscle growth, it depends on the age.
Okay, I think I'll say Tosi. Tosi will fit into that category. Yeah, Tosi will fit into that category.
I have one player that who knows.
Yep.
James Milner. Man's 38, running the show in midfield at Brighton.
Who? Reece James?
James Milner.
I know, Milner.
James Milner?
38, midfield, running the show.
He's probably going to play until his son comes in and plays at Liverpool's midfield. I wouldn't be surprised.
Karen Trippier have retired from international football.
Wait, what?
Good riddance.
Trippier. Yeah, he has retired from international football.
He made it to the bench last time with Newcastle against Nottingham.
Yeah, international. I mean, not the club football, international football.
International football, all right. Sorry, didn't get that right.
Yeah, that's right.
Kieran Trippier, which country does he play for? England.
England.
England. Yeah, he plays for England.
English international, all right.
The right back was forced to play left back for England.
Seems to be a bit of a tussle there. Nicholas Jackson was injured. I mean, SERVETTE have started being more aggressive on the tackles. Not good for our players. You just have to get all of us, all of our Chelsea players out there uninjured. He's just landed on his arm, Nicholas Jackson.
Nicholas Jackson.
He seems all right. He's walking in. He's walking out, so it's all right. But then there's an yellow card for SERVETTE defender. 64 minutes into the game, SERVETTE won. Chelsea won. Chelsea looking good in the second half. One transitional move that Enzo Maresca has made here in this particular half is that we're seeing Renato Sanchez play more on the central area as a CDM, along with Enzo for a while, Enzo Fernandez. Before we had Casado and Nicholas Jackson come in. So that was interesting to see Renato Vega playing that CDM role. Is there an indicator, Nizayon? Are we building another CDM sort of a profile there? Because let's not forget, we might have a bloated squad in terms of 42, just in terms of numbers, but then the double pivot is still leaner with Chelsea. We just have three potential players, with maybe Dewsbury Hall who could just make that place. No one as successful as that of these three: Casado, Enzo, and Lavia.
Well, Ronaldo Viega is a player that plays multiple positions, very, very versatile. He plays three positions. He plays centre back. He plays in a defensive mid, and also I think the left back. Yeah. So yeah, he's very, very versatile. But I think he
he's now
can do
moved
a
to left
job
back.
when he put in. Left back.
Yeah, he's now moved to left back after Casado has come in.
Yeah, he's a very, very good versatile player. But you have to remember, although he's a left back, he'll be evicting. He will be coming in the middle and leave those three behind him and the goalkeeper. That makes four. Because when we attack with a three back, with the right back and the left back, invecting, joining the midfield and attack. Then we have the goalkeeper moving forward a little bit with the back three, the two center backs left and right. Yeah, plus the goalkeeper. That makes it, I think, three defenders and one goalkeeper.
That's interesting. I mean, we do have players who can play at multiple positions. This time around, Anirudh, one thing that we've caught, Enzo has highlighted that in one of his press conferences as well, is that we, right from the defenders to, the number of attackers that we have in our team, they're not just players who can play in one position. They're all players who can play at 2 or 3 positions, and not just play; they can play well there, right? So they've got experience doing that. So that might help in sustenance across the entire year, because you could just plug and play players wherever needed. If you ask me, would they be best in that position under Chelsea setup? Considering we are, most times on ultra aggressive mode, that's something that we'll have to watch out for. Goalkeeper kick given. I thought it was a corner. 68 minutes in.
3v2. Nice tackle.
Yeah, Nicholas Jackson did a good job.
Nice one. He couldn't make the final pass, did not go well, but what a run, and what a individual brilliance from Nicholas Jackson. I love that.
Yeah, true that is.
Yeah, if you look at
support there.
Yeah, if you look at Manchester City squad, at least every player has to play 2 positions. You have to be versatile to be able to get in Manchester City Football Club. Every player in the attacking role, the midfield, have to be at least two positions. That DM, you can be a left
True.
winger. If you're a left winger, you have to be able to play left and the right at the same time. That give them so many options when should in case they go down due to injury. It give them so many options, so many.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Walker play multiple positions, even CTM at some point. But yeah, on the same note, another CDM that I wanted to call out in this game, Casaido, he really has to stop putting in tackles if he's not able to get there. I mean, so stop lunging into tackles, right? If you're not in the right position to get the ball, to not put in those kind of tackles, because you're in a very important position. I mean, stop doing that for heaven's sake. I mean, do you understand the risk that you're putting the the defenders through? I mean, the four defenders behind you, and there are different positions covering the wingers, and one missed there, and their cam is obviously going to attack. And it's exactly what would happen every time when you miss the ball. So you have to really stop putting those tackles down. If he's not able to, just run with the player. Just run with the player, keep the pressure on. Don't lunge into tackle.
Yeah, he's been struggling lately. He's maybe awful, but I'm sure I was very happy with the Wolves game. He came back in the second half and then tightened things up. It's just like you say, it's not the players that are bad. It's a system that creates, but the players have to be good to master that system. So it's not about they're not. I mean, consider just like you said also. Yeah, I saw those flying tackles where he was missing all of them and giving the balls away.
Yeah.
But against Wolves, he corrected things up. He didn't make those silly passes that he was making.
True that is. And Servette have a corner. Yeah, go on, Ayuda. That's
Wait, just get back. Just keep going.
Yeah, sure.
Just give me.
Sure. Take it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good ball in a volley from Servette defender. Seemed to be on the attacking side. Servette lately at between 69 and 71 minutes. In the last couple of minutes, they've been doing a good job at attacking Chelsea, finding right places.
Yeah, I've seen him. He's like I've seen him. The guy with the long hair.
Yeah. No, the one with short hair.
It's just like it's got band, or maybe I may be behind.
No. Onuna or Onunda.
I hope it's not Nana.
Sorry.
not you. I hope it's not Nana. That guy's
if it's
crap goalkeeper.
Yeah. Oh, that's a goal. Servette pulls another one back. Jorgensen with a wrong footing.
They scored a goal.
Yeah, they scored a goal. 71 minutes, 55 seconds. Servette lead against Chelsea at their own backyard. Servette 2, Chelsea 1. The game is on, guys. Crivelli pulls one back for Servette, and Servette fans are all over Chelsea right now. That's a brilliant header. Two players were confused. Two Chelsea players were actually confused as to who will have to mark the man. And Jorgensen, poor goalkeeping there. Poor goalkeeping.
Oh, I'm back. What happened?
Yeah. What happened? Servette pulled one back. Servette 2, Chelsea 1.
Wow.
Cole Palmer is in, guys. Mudryk is off. Cole Palmer is in at 73rd minute. We've had to bring in the big guns. Yeah, we've had to bring in the big guns. Cole Palmer is in. Nicholas Jackson is in. Christopher Nkunku in. This is the actual Chelsea lineup that played the Premier League game in terms of the attack. At least we just don't have Pedro Neto and Joao Felix. This is Nicholas Jackson receiving the ball. He's got support on that right flank from Cole Palmer, but couldn't put the ball into the wing. Nicholas Jackson again lunging into a tackle, getting himself an yellow card, booked within the first 10 minutes he's into the game. Not needed. Not that challenge was not at all needed. What did he achieve through that challenge? I don't know. 73 minutes, 44 seconds into the game. 7-2, Chelsea won.
I'd like to know your thoughts on this one particular transfer that has taken place. Lukaku to Napoli. What are
Good
your
riddance.
thoughts? Because short, succinct, very nice, good, nice.
Yeah, that's how I put it. But I mean, if you look at Lukaku as a player, yes, we could have made some. I mean, we could have, got him to work, provided he had, discipline, right? I think that factor was something that was missing with Lukaku. And you could also see lately, I mean, even after that interview, going forward from that interview, he started missing. I mean, and this happened very, progressively. He started putting on a lot of weight. He was not that man who you could lay off to and then could get the ball, move forward. At least at Premier League, I mean, we know his weaknesses. While he came in only, we had the option of Haaland and Lukaku, right? I mean, Chelsea had an option to get Haaland and Lukaku. All of Chelsea fans' preference was Haaland. Obviously, it was Haaland. We were not able to get that deal done, so we had to obviously find the second alternative. And once he came in and he scored that first goal, I think it was a header against Arsenal. Chelsea fans really thought maybe we actually got a good deal. I mean, we kind of found that man who completes the Tuchel system.
Yeah.
And then the ownership transfer happened, or in the meantime, this guy goes in and talks to Sky Italia. He himself arranges for a press meet and he talks rubbish. And I don't want to get into the intricacies or the specifics in detail, but then he needs to start understanding that it's not all about him. The world doesn't always revolve around him. He is one of the 11 players that plays on the pitch. And like you called out for Sterling, he is. I mean, he is the epitome of prima donna, right? Romelu Lukaku. So.
Just to add to that point, the world doesn't revolve around him, nor does the ball after his first touch.
Yeah. That's a good way to complete the sentence, though. He's got a very poor first touch, and that's very critical in a league like Premier League because there's not a lot of space.
Nice.
Right? That might work in Italy. That's not going to work in Prem.
My other question with regards to Lukaku is
I think Chelsea has pulled one back. I just want to check if it is offside or not. Nicholas Jackson could potentially be offside. Yeah, that's an offside.
Yeah, Jackson.
That's an offside disallowed goal.
Right.
But we've been asked to check. They've been asked to check. I think Nicholas Jackson. That's a tight call. That really is a tight call. It's going to be some VAR check needed there. I don't think so. He is straightforward offside. That's a tight call. Really good positioning from Nicholas Jackson. I mean, he's improved in terms of positioning himself in the box. Really improved than the last year. I mean, he didn't perform really bad as a lot of people, put him to be. Like, I think he got close to 17 goals, if I'm not wrong, Niziam.
Nico Jackson?
And yeah,
he got 17 goals out past Drogba his first season.
Right, yeah, exactly, and that is really saying something. He outperformed Didier Drogba in his first season. Yeah, the goal is disallowed, by the way. So the score line still stays at SERVETTE 2, Chelsea 1 after 78 minutes. Now, coming back to this point, Nicholas Jackson's output is not just in terms of goals. I mean, we'll have to measure him as a winger as well. He's got a lot of assists. I mean, he does play as a number 9 for Chelsea, but he's got good amount of assists. If I'm not wrong, his assist number is also in the double digit for the last season, which is not bad. Yeah, we've got a real talent there. But I'd like to understand from Nizayon, on the African rivalry that's happening around with you know Nicholas Jackson. I think Nicholas Jackson is involved along with John Obi Mikel in his own podcast. So would you like to touch upon that? I think you gave a good set of pointers on how the African dimension plays into the conversation that goes around in your channel. Would it be something that you would be able to touch upon?
Yeah, I will definitely. Why not? So Mikel Obi is an ex Chelsea player. People can either consider him legend or whatever they consider him. He keep criticizing Nicholas Jackson and even making fun of him of the way he plays and the way he runs, which to me doesn't go well with me as a Chelsea supporter, because what he's doing is he's creating problems for Nicholas Jackson and Victor Osimhen, because Victor Osimhen is Nigerian. And what if this player comes in here and come to the club to play? Nicholas Jackson is not an out and out number 9 striker. Chelsea are trying to make him look like one. And this guy has a platform because of his legendary status as a Chelsea footballer and ex-Chelsea player. He uses that platform to always look down on other people. Like the way he talks about Nicholas Jackson was not impressive. As a fan and as a legend who has to support his players and keep them going, but not come on your own show and then say things that are very, very, it's like you're mocking the player. So Victor Osimhen, after Nicholas Jackson against Wolves scored 1 goal and he was happy, he sent a message to he sent a message to John Obi Mikel and told him he need to shut his mouth because he's an African and Africans are killing themselves for Chelsea Football Club. So he want him to shut his mouth. Ooh. Then the following day, John Obi Mikel went to his platform again to respond to Nicholas Jackson's message. And I was like, how dumb are you for you to know that you don't have to respond to him? Because the more you do that, the more you draw attention to yourself. And someone even said that he's just tired of whatever he received from Nicholas Jackson is fine because he has been mocking this player for way too long. So it's not just the player themselves, but also creating problems between two nations, Senegal and Nigeria. Because of your legendary status, he holds a lot of people, and whatever you say, travels goes to distance. So that was a problem. So Chelsea almost considered the game.
Yeah, they did. That was.
Oh,
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. I wasn't sure if you're talking or not.
Yeah,
I hope it got silent.
Yeah, I was talking on mute actually. My bad. Yeah, some issue with the power. But
wonderful.
yeah, Servette are looking dangerous now. Last 15 minutes, Servette has been looking dangerous. They're spreading Chelsea's defense thin.
I don't know why he went to make all those changes.
Oh, Cole Palmer hits the bar. 82 minutes, 40 seconds. Cole Palmer gets an amazing chance. And I think that was a really great run. Really great run. And Christopher Nkunku to Cole Palmer. That's a precision pass. From Nkunku to Cole Palmer. That link up is beautiful. Cole Palmer tried to finish it off, but then just hitting the bar, and Chelsea missed their chance to equalize this game. 83 minutes in, Chelsea still trailing behind Servette. Servette 2, Chelsea 1. Oh, I want you guys to, I want Nizion to take a look at this particular pass from Christopher Nkunku, just splitting that defense wide open. And Cole Palmer was clear, so clear. He should have finished that. A player of that caliber should have finished that. Not a bad shot. by any means. Hitting the bar a bit unlucky there.
I'm waiting for it.
Am I way too far ahead? Sorry, buddy. Didn't realize streams in India were that quicker than the US. I mean, it's usually the other way around.
What was that again about US and India?
I was just saying that the streams in India are, that quick than the US this time, and it's very odd for us to look at it that way because we're used to seeing the streams delayed after what it appears in the US.
I am watching it from. I'm streaming from a different platform.
Oh, you're not streaming from the Chelsea TV?
No, it's kind of down. I was trying to stream from there, it wasn't working.
Yeah, it wasn't working until the game started, and there was like 4-5 minutes until then. It didn't really work. After which, it picked up.
Yeah, that is why it's not from you. My internet is very very fast. It's
Yeah.
let me see.
I think there was some reliability issue in. Technically speaking, site reliability problem with Chelsea's website. That's a good run. That's a good pass from. Okay. So lazy from Nicholas Jackson there. So lazy. Should have done better. Axel Disasi with a really important tackle there on that left flank. Not been his day, if I'm being honest. He's just managing.
Just 4 more minutes.
Yeah, 4 more minutes until full time.
Run it. And
Hey,
yeah.
boys. Sorry.
That's okay.
And as Sir Alex Ferguson once said, keep the ball.
Yeah, keep the ball. I mean, that's another area that Chelsea has to improve on. We are so good at scoring and then conceding in the next a couple of minutes.
This Chelsea team, the way, at least as far as how you're describing it, this reminds me of Liverpool 17-18. Complete vibes in attack, but we had nothing in defense. No one. It was just Lovren.
I think that's the time when, right, Lovren, and I think that's the time when Trent as well popped in. Like Trent and no, was that before Trent? 1 year before Trent, right?
Nah, it was just. I mean, it was at that point when Trent was
18-19 was Trent.
Yes, yeah, 17.
Yeah, he was coming in, I guess. Yeah.
When he came into the right back position, because our right back at that time, Nathaniel Klein, had an ACL injury, and as a result of which, he was our only right back, and Trent, up until that time, was either playing as a right winger or a centre midfielder when he was playing in the academy. As a result, he was given his proficiency on the right wing. He went on to play as a right back, which is pretty much the reason why all the allegations of him being a not so great defender are more or less justified, because he was never really a defender to start with. But anyway, I digress. So, yes, 17-18 was when Trent came in. 18-19 was when he made a name. 19-20 was when he won the league, and so on and so on.
Yeah. Trent has been an immense success for Liverpool, isn't he? That's a brilliant chance that was for Christopher Nkunku. Couldn't get it over the line. A brilliant ball from Cole Palmer. I see Cole Palmer and Christopher Nkunku linking amazingly well here. I mean, there is a good chance that both of them, we need to see them link up more. I mean, that's only possible if Christopher Nkunku plays in the cam position while we have, Cole Palmer come from the right. But Cole Palmer isn't really effective from the right. That's the problem that we have. Like, we could either have Palmer on the pitch or Christopher Nkunku on the pitch. But when we have both of them on the pitch, obviously Palmer has to go to the wider areas. And once that happens, then it's a challenge. because Palmer is not as effective as he is in the camp position. Christopher Nkunku Palmer link up is going good. I mean, I see them. I see them linking up better. They've created already 2 really good chances. One was created by Nkunku for Palmer that hit the bar, and the other one was created by Palmer to Nkunku. That was a good header, a weak header though, a free header, a weak header, but couldn't find the back of the net. So their link up is very important for Chelsea if they because they are the source of goal threat, right? Christopher Nkunku and Palmer are the source of goal threat at this point in time. Unless we have Victor Osimhen or Ivan Toney coming in, we'll have to rely on a bulk of goals coming from their end.
So I don't know what's next for me. Do they have to go to penalty shootouts, or I think extra time, right?
I think at this point in time, it's 2-1. Chelsea still has 1 goal ahead, no? Because Chelsea 2-0 was the first half score. So at this point in time, Chelsea are winning this fixture, or this tie basically.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's smooth. That's smooth from Christopher Nkunku. Cole Palmer back to Christopher Nkunku. That was a good defense out there from SERVETTE, and it's 6 minutes of added time to this game. Christopher Nkunku and Cole Palmer look dangerous, guys.
They'll be losing that game. They'll be losing that game. Why is he sitting on the ball? This boy is funny.
He was sitting on the ball because we had a
lights in the fireworks.
No, yeah, correct. So there's a small intervention. So.
Okay.
Nicholas Jackson being fouled left, right, and center.
It's the fireworks. They're having fireworks at the stadium, and they'll be out. They'll be out in a way. They'll be out in the competition. They'll be losing the aggregate.
Right.
Has there been a word on the amount of extra time?
Extra time is 6 minutes. And we're already 1 minute past that.
Keep the ball simple as that. Maybe use this as a training session to learn how to keep them.
They are pressing high. They are actually pressing high. Palmer on the right flank, supported by Nicholas Jackson. Christopher Nkunku, play off to Cole Palmer. Palmer still holds the ball back to. Should he shoot? And he shoots. Nicholas Jackson hits the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's been doing a splendid job for SERVETTE. I think he's made 3 exceptional saves on target, and Nicholas Jackson misses another opportunity.
Jackson.
Just so that I can.
Cole Palmer, still an amazing talent, man. Someone has to watch that 92-second clip, 92 to 92, 30 seconds, right? Just watch the run from Cole Palmer. He basically went across the entire back line of SERVETTE. Like, he passed 4 men. 4 men on the truck.
4 men.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not anywhere near 92. Oh, I'm on 90. Okay. I'm looking now. Is that Tariq George? Is that Tariq George in the middle? Yeah, it's him.
I don't know who he is. So.
I'll see. Yeah, it's Tariq George.
Is he from the US?
Jackson Shaw was blocked. Goalkeeper was good with his leg. What a shot block over there.
Yeah, you're there, right? I mean, just fast forward 20 seconds in, and you'll see the Cole Palmer run. That's an amazing piece of work.
You take 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he couldn't get a full blast of that ball. It would have been the back of the net.
Right. He just missed the shot. It's an
Yeah.
amazing run from Cole Palmer. I just wanted to hear Anirudha's thought on Cole Palmer as well. Coming towards the end of the game, 3 minutes more. What's been spoken at the rival fan base about Cole Palmer? Definitely not a good move from Manchester City selling him off to Chelsea. The way that he's had an impact on Chelsea the last season, he's the one who actually kept us in the Premier League. If I'm being honest about it.
Oh yeah. I mean, rival fans will tell you he's a waste of money. Until he started performing well, then people realized that look, Pep Guardiola have done a very big mistake. Ooh, they almost got one back. I'm sure you've seen it. Yeah, until they realized there was a big mistake selling Cole Palmer to Chelsea, because the player wants to play football and it can't get on the game. It can't get on the pitch because of the players. And remember, people have the same Kevin De Bruyne. The same thing happened to Kevin De Bruyne when he was with Chelsea. He was ready, but the players in the middle, Frank Lampard was there, Michael Essien was there, Michael Ballack was there, but Kevin De Bruyne wants to play. It's not your time. And they said they have to sell him. He wants to play, and Jose said, I can't do that. You got senior players in there. And he chose an option to leave, and it was being sold to the Bundesliga club. But Cole Palmer did the same thing. He said he wants game time, and Pep is not giving him the game time he wants. He left to Chelsea, and it's been a revelation for Chelsea Football Club. He's been performing. Yeah, it's Tariq George, an academy player, very good player.
Yeah, Tariq George.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have left the ball that way. 95 minutes, 50 seconds into the game. Tariq was doing a good job trying to hold the ball off. The opponent defense was too strong. The defender was too strong for him. I mean, this is what happens with youngsters trying to come against a fully grown adult. I mean, they technically sound. They know how to move the ball around and all of that. And all that Prem defenders do is just shove them off, just push them off, and they're off the ball. They're that strong, usually Prem defenders. So all that, the Brazilian fair of play and all of that doesn't really work in Prem. I mean, I'm not sure if Vinicius can be as effective in and out every single day in Prem than he is at Spanish league. But with that being said, we come to the end of the game. Servette won, Servette 2, Chelsea 1, and that's the full-time scoreline. Chelsea pick up a loss at Switzerland, but they still go through on the entire aggregate basis through this tie. So Chelsea qualifies to the next round. Not a happy result for the Chelsea fans. Not what they were hoping to see at at Geneva, but it is what it is. Conference League loss for Chelsea. I think this is the first competitive loss for Chelsea. Second, we had a loss against Manchester City. So second competitive loss for Chelsea and for Enzo Maresca. But a really good show from Servette. Your thoughts on the game, Nisayan, and we'll wrap around with Aniruddha.
Yeah, it was a great game, great scenes. A game that I wasn't expecting much for this team, because I knew that there were going to be a lot of changes. I knew it. Like I said, when I did my prediction, I only had two players not in the starting lineup that Chelsea produced. That was Enzo Fernandez and who again? One more player.
Was it Disasi?
Disasi and Enzo Fernandez. So I knew that it was going to be. And once you have that number of changes, you distract the chemistry and the flow of the team. The team chemistry is not there. So, I mean, it's good exercise for Drisbury Hall to play 90 minutes, for Nkunku to also play 90 minutes without getting injured, and from sub players to get 90 minutes. So, I think it's also good for the exercise for McGee, Disasi, and some of these players. So good exercise. Good. I mean, we went through aggregate. That's why it's two legs. If it's one, if it's one leg, it would have been off. I mean, off by now. But I'm glad that it's
Yeah.
two leg.
Yeah. Stamford Bridge did save us this time.
Do what?
I said Stamford Bridge did save us this time. 2 goals there did save us.
Yeah, and we should have done even better at Stamford Bridge, but we struggle against this team. And it's not like they were sitting low block. It wasn't a low block team. They open up.
It was
Chelsea
more
did not
on the
capitalize.
counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they're on the counter. They're trying to be quick and agile, and they penetrate us through the middle. And with Dawson, one thing that I do not find very comfortable with is his pace on the ball. I mean, he's a bit slow,
Yeah.
which kind of is becoming easier for Swiss team to break in. Hopefully, in the Premier League, that will be addressed by Colwill and Wesley Fofana's combination. But over to Aniruddha on his thoughts about this particular game as a Liverpool fan and what it means to, see Chelsea lose this game after that 2-6 victory against Wolves in the Premier League.
I mean, I don't think we can read too much into the result because obviously it's a loss, that's fine. But with the context that the players are completely new, I mean, there's been a raft of changes coming in. I think that okay, this is a good way for the players to know each other's style better, and with the confines of an actual match going on, and for the manager as well to see okay what what are these players what are these players' capabilities when it's actually for real. Watching them in training is one thing, but watching them in a match is something else altogether. And it is what they do in the match is that's what matters. So that's good. So, in that with that context, I think it's fine. It's a loss, but it's character building more or less because you'll have to build up uh, steam, and I'm pretty sure Enzo Maresca would use this result to see where he has gotten things wrong and what he can do to improve things further going down the league. So it's a good exercise, as Nee mentioned earlier. So, good. I mean,
I
and as
think,
far
yeah,
as
yeah, please go on.
that's pretty much all right.
Right, so I mean that's a good way to put it. Like this should be a very good learning for Enzo Maresca. Nicholas Jackson did put the ball at the back of the net in one instance, but then it was called offside. Mudryk did miss an important chance. He made all the hard work himself. A couple of good chances for Cole Palmer and Christopher Nkunku, which also meant that Chelsea weren't as poor as people would look at the scoreline and assume. It was a really good chance for Chelsea to capitalize on these chances. This is something that they'll have to consistently keep delivering on. On one particular day against Wolf, it all came through, but every single time, if it needs to come through, then it's not going to be luck. It's going to be hard work. I'm not saying what we reached. What we achieved with Wolves is luck, but then. We will have to make sure that it is put on a consistent consistent basis. The hard work needs to be put in on a consistent basis. Nkunku and Cole Palmer's link up has been absolutely magnificent. This is something that I hope to look at the Premier League as well, because these both, if they are able to combine and create chances for Chelsea, both of them extremely creative individuals, and they could be a real challenge for any of the low block teams that come across Chelsea, because when there's a low block that plays against Chelsea, wingers might find it hard to break it because they'll have multiple overlaps or overloads created at the wing to stop these wingers from progressing forward. But Cole Palmer and Christopher Nkunku are used to finding spaces in between, and their link up has been absolutely magnificent this evening. This is something I hope would continue, and that's one of the positive signs that I take from this Chelsea 1-7-2 scoreline. But with this, I'd also like to come to the conclusion of this particular live watch along. It's been 1.5 years, give or take, that I've done a watch along or we've put any active content on this channel. It's really good to be back, and it's really good to have the same old crew here with Nizayon and Aniruddha joining us. Hoping to have a lot more people going forward on the comment section as well. We'll try to put in continuous content as much as possible. We'll keep the content coming in. But thank you so much for all your support, guys, that you've been putting in for Sportswire. Before we conclude the stream, I'll give Nizayon a quick 60 seconds, followed by Aniruddha 60 seconds. To talk about their particular channel, as well as anything that they'd want to talk about Chelsea transfers or any quick 60-second content. Over to Nizayon.
Me? I'll say.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, what I'll say is going forward, the team is still learning in the very early stages, but I hope that they improve on this. I hope that they improve and they're going forward. And then, like I said, we need to get this channel to where it's supposed to be. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. We'll do it, and then we'll get bigger
and better.
Yeah, better.
Over to Aniruddha. Thank you so much, Nizayon.
I mean, it's been a while, as you yourself put it. It's been quite a long time since we had this kind of a stream. So I'm glad that you're back, and I hope to join on. For the subsequent streams that would come up in the future for sure, and give my take on things, which is slightly different, which might not be. Which would be more on a football basis, not only from a Liverpool perspective, but from a general perspective. So I'm glad to be here again, and I hope to join once again. And for the love of God, Liverpool, if you're listening to this by any chance, if the board is this, please sign a defending midfielder, please, for the love of God. We would need one. Damn it, please, thanks.
In the entire stream of 2 hours and 17 minutes, this is the stream. This is the point where Aniruddha managed to put his mic just near his mouth, so that this comes as the principal content. Anything that he spoke before this was not with his microphone nearby. But Liverpool club, if at all you're listening to this, he's put some effort to bring that mic near his mouth. So make sure that you listen to him. CDM position is all that he asks for, or at a bad possible potentially.
If you want to sign me up, I can join. No, I can't. Sorry, please don't do that.
I thought you were giving an alternative for real.
No. I'm useless at a football pitch. The last time I was useful there was 10 years back.
That's okay. I mean, I think we're all the same there.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, on a serious note, both of you guys, thank you so much. It was a pleasure hosting you at Sportswire.
Right.
Hoping to talk to you guys on a lot more stream. Until that, this is Vijay, Nizayon, and Aniruddha signing off from Sportswire. Thank you so much for listening all the way. Thank you, guys.
I guess see you all later.